I'm gonna prop you up on my windowsill. So I'm gonna talk to you today about how to say no without feeling guilty. This might have to be more than one video because there's more to it than just the things you can say, but I'm gonna give you some specific things to say, like the specific words to say or phrases. That's Malachi. To help you say no and to like get rid of the guilt. If you say it like this and follow, there's like 2 rules or whatever that I like follow myself, that if you do it that way, then you won't feel guilty. The pain of the guilt is like ripping off a Band-Aid, and then as soon as you do it, you're like, that was so painful, and then oh, I guess it's okay now. That's what it's like, okay? So that's what we're gonna talk about. I'm gonna do dishes. So I'll go over the rules first. The first rule is it has to be immediate, right? You can't think no in your mind and then tell someone, well, let me think about it. I don't really know if I'm going to be able to do it. Let me look at my schedule. In your mind, you've told them no, and to say yes, you'll have to figure something out. But in their mind, you've said yes because you didn't say no, okay? You said you'll have to look at it. So don't do that. It has to be immediate no. The other rule is you can't give an explanation because then you just discount your no, right? If you have to explain to somebody why you're doing something, it means they're the adult and you're the child, okay? No, just don't explain. So those are the 2 rules, basically. The first phrase I'm going to give you is my personal favorite, and it's only 2 words. Immediately no. Like, that's all. Immediately no. That's the 2 words. It's my favorite. It's immediate, right? Even in the words, it's immediate. But there's no question. The only question is, I can't believe she just said that to me, because some people aren't used to hearing no in general or any pushback on what they want, which is you to do something. So that's what I say. There's other things that I say, but that's my favorite. Just to say immediately no. Some people that's too harsh and they need to tone it down a little bit. So the same spirit, but different words. So you might say something like, that for sure will be impossible for me to manage. You don't want to add extra words like right now or this week, because then it's kind of like giving them a way to be like, okay, so maybe I'll come back tomorrow, or maybe I'll check with you next week. No, don't even say stuff like that. Just say impossible for me to manage. So that's my favorite. Immediately no. If I understand that might not be your jam, you might want to say something like appeal to their humanity. Like, I for sure can't do that because I still have to eat and sleep. Everybody has to eat and sleep. So still immediate and no explanation. Don't be like, oh man, let me look. Oh, let me look at my phone. If you already are filled with dread at the thought of someone asking you to do something more, don't look at your phone. You already know. What could be a more clear explanation, or not even explanation, a more clear answer than already knowing that you're too full? I'm maxed out right now. So I think that just the quickest no is the best. If you can't bring the blame on yourself, I don't have a problem with that because I don't really care if people get mad at me. But if you need to push it onto somebody else, say, I've promised my family or my husband or my kids or whoever, your wife, whoever it is, I have promised my family that I'm not going to add anything else to our schedule. So I'm going to have to say no this time. You can ask again. I mean, you don't have to say this part, but they can ask again. They can ask you again. It's not like never, I hate you, I never want to help you again. But you need to be clear, direct, and not give an explanation. Okay? If you like to add a little flair, which I have done before, because you will get pushback, especially if people aren't used to being told no. Usually it's the same person that doesn't like being told no that also will give you pushback because it's my sink, my faucet. Because they don't want to be told no. Well, nobody does. Okay, so just 10 toes down. Don't waver. Oh, I was really counting on you. Yeah, wow. Man, don't apologize. You don't need to apologize for anything. You haven't done anything wrong. You haven't injured anyone. If you feel like you need to apologize, go ahead, but you don't have to. Because then it puts you on the, like, that you've victimized someone somehow. No, don't say I'm sorry. It's like, I know. You know what? I wish I could. I can't. I can't right now. That's just not possible. So a couple things about the explanation. Oh, the funny thing. Yeah. So I might say to someone, I have said to someone when I get the pushback, like, are you serious? You really, I mean, I thought you said you were going to do it. You seemed like you were going to be okay with it. You know what I say? I would rather hack my foot off with a shovel. That's going to happen before I'm going to be able to do that. Absolutely not. I am sarcastic and direct, generally speaking. So most people that know me wouldn't be aghast at the thought of me saying that. But, you know, you do you. Everybody has something that they would be more comfortable in saying, which is why you keep doing things for people that you don't want to do, because you're more comfortable saying, okay, so maybe step out of your comfort zone. It's going to be so quick. Once you've told them no, the problem with delaying is when you say, oh, I just really don't think I'm going to be able to do it this time. Let me check my schedule. Okay. Then you know what they think? She's going to check her schedule and she's going to figure it out. Okay. Because that's what you've done all this time. You always figure it out. You're always so good and so perfect. Don't. Just say no. And if you say you're going to check your schedule, then for the several days or several hours or week that you are checking your schedule, trying to psych yourself up to say no, it's out of their mind, because now the burden is on you, because they don't want to do it or can't do it or whatever the situation is. They want someone else to do it. And you've said, let me check my schedule. And you're like, or they are like, whoo, done with that. And then if you do end up saying no, most likely you're going to be like, no, well, now I've waited too long and now I have to say yes because they thought I'm going to do it. Okay, so that's why I know. But they have already put it out of their mind. If you had said no immediately, they would have immediately gone to somebody else. You're not the only person in the world that can bake a cake for their 7-year-old's birthday. Okay, there's other places you can go. Or people or whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter. Okay, so that's why immediate is best. Okay, the other rule, no explanations, right? So there's 2 reasons for that. Number 1, if people require an explanation from you, then they already don't care what it is. If you say, oh, I'm for sure not going to be able to work that in my schedule, and they're like, why? What do you have? It's not till it's 2 Thursdays away. Like, can you not do it then? First of all, rude. Secondly, I'm a grown woman, and I have told you clearly that I'm not going to be able to do something. So I'm not saying you should say this, but I'm thinking this. On what planet do you know my schedule better than me? It's literally my schedule. I'm a grown-up. So just immediately know. If someone is requiring, I'm not saying to tell your boss that you can't do something and you don't care what he says. Like, be realistic, okay? But you don't need to give an explanation to someone who's requiring an explanation, because they already have their wheels turning about what you can do instead. Well, it's okay. Well, I can just, if you can just bake it, then I can come pick it up. Or we can meet at the store, and you're going to go to the store anyway. And you're bringing them to the party, so just bring the cake with you. No. Yeah, not going to be able to. You don't need to give any explanation. No, I'm not going to be able to do it. Yeah. I'm glad you haven't, since it's 2 Tuesdays away, I'm glad there's plenty of time. Okay? There's plenty of time for someone else to bake a cake. So that's the first time that explanations don't need to be given. The second time an explanation doesn't need to be given is if someone actually respects you as a person, loves you as a friend, and honors your boundary. Okay? I'm going to give you 2 examples of when this literally has happened to me. It was the same day. Someone asked me to be in a Bible study. I was looking for a women's Bible study, and I said, sounds great. I've been looking for one. When do you meet? Whatever. It was kind of like not a great time for me. Like the time of day, like it was in the evening and I get up early. So I was like, oh, I don't really know, but I can try it out. She's like, oh, it's going to be great. We have dinner. And I'm like, you won't even have to cook dinner. I'm like, well, I still have a family. Like, I have to still cook dinner, My husband was working midnights at the time. It was just not the timing of the group was not great, but what are you going to do? I'm going to try it out. I said, okay, yeah, I can do it. I think so. When do you meet? What days? Oh, it's Tuesdays. It's at this time and whatever. And I said, okay, great. What are you studying? And she said, numbers. Come again? Numbers. Literally, this was the time that I used the phrase, I'd rather hack my foot off with a shovel. I didn't lead with that. She said numbers. I was initially like, wow. And then I thought maybe she means like numerology. And okay. I said numbers like, and she's just looking at me and I'm like the book of the Bible numbers? And she says, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely not doing that. That's going to be a no for me. Hard pass. I don't know what all words I said, but it was something like that. I kept saying them because I had already said yes. I mean, this was all in the same conversation. And she's like, are you serious? I'm like, absolutely. Numbers? No, I don't even want to read numbers when I'm reading through the Bible like in a year, or it's in my reading plan and I have to read numbers. No, I don't want to. I'm definitely not going to study it on purpose. Absolutely not. And she's like, I can't believe you're telling me that it's part of the Bible. I'm like, yeah, that's how I know that I don't want to read it, because I've read it before. I've read the whole Bible. I don't want to read it again. She said, numbers. She said, I can't believe you would just rather be home by yourself than study a book of the Bible. I said, I'd rather hack my foot off with a shovel than study numbers, okay? That's what I would rather do. That's when she got the point. Okay, so that was a day. That evening, I was in a group text. So all this is happening and my father's dying, right? Oh, I said father. I've never called him father in my life. My dad's dying. So I was in this group text of kind of new-ish people, and it was too much, right? I couldn't be getting my phone going off, sends me into a spiral. Anyway, so I text the leader. This is when I couldn't take myself out, right? So I text the leader of this group chat, or this group, and I said, hey, I'm not going to be able to I don't mind being in the group, but I can't be in the chat. It's too much for me. You know what she said? This is someone that I've met maybe once. The other person I had been friends with for over a year. I had met Jen maybe twice. Anyway, she says, understood. She said, we can't do everything. I don't have time to be looking at my phone all day sometimes, and I'm retired. So I completely understand where you're coming from. How about I just text you if anything, we're going to plan on this and I'll text you if anything changes. I'm like, that sounds great. I was expecting this big pushback, just like I had received several hours earlier, and it was so easy. I'm like, the person I was ready to give an explanation to didn't need one because they already respected what I was going to say. So what was the point in trying to give an explanation before? Anyways, I'm just saying explanations rarely work and they're usually pointless. Okay. So that's what I'm going to say. That's what we're going to talk about. I'm already over 15 minutes. Okay. So I think I'm going to do another video about the different kinds of guilt that we feel and how to maybe face each one of them, respond to each one of them. It's inner work, right? You have to do it. You have to take care of yourself, take care of it yourself. It's not like someone else is going to be like, hey, I know you feel guilty and you shouldn't. Wow, never thought of that. So anyway, I'll be making another video, and that's it. Peace.